M0FXB, good morning, welcome to my channel. I've got a RETEVIS RT3S and I want to add my frequencies for my Allstar node. So I highly recommend you get an Allstar node, and I've got separate videos on that. So first thing we're going to do, we've got the radio all connected, we've got the cable in. Now if you need a cable, there's loads on eBay. And go to this site. I'll put the link in the description for things like firmware, USB driver and programming software, things like that. So once you've got all that installed, which again is covered on a different video, then you'll get to this page here, which is your programming software. So first thing I do is you want to make sure you're on the right COM port. So right click, select device manager. And then double click ports. Now you want to know which port you're on. So I think I'm on 4, but watch. If I unplug my USB, 3 and 4 ports are showing. Then I'll plug my USB in. And right, which one appeared? Not really sure if one appeared then. Right, well anyway, we'll try 3 and 4, maybe it'll be fine. But normally the one that I use appears, but in this case it didn't. So if I have a problem, we'll come back to it. Let's program it all up anyway, and we'll worry about the sending it across in a second. So first thing we do is we want to read the radio. So here's where we're going to find out if if the USB cable is working. So read data, read from radio. Right, okay, we've got a USB problem. So let me just work that one out. Just give me a second. Okay, all it was, the cable wasn't quite pushed in, so it's reading now. I'll just still go back to my COM port just to show you. Device manager. I think it's quite common with these because I had it with my MD390, and it's in the it's not in the computer that it doesn't get pushed in properly. It's actually it's still showing the same things here, but it's actually in the radio. You just got to push a bit harder with the 2 pins, and it works. So it's read the radio. So. And it is possible that when I send it back to the radio, I might have to just put my hand on the actual cable and just hold it in. And it's just one of those things. So what we want to do is add a new zone. So we're going to go to zones here. And we want to add a new one. I want to call it Allstar. So we'll right click here, go to the zone information, right click add. Then go to the bottom and see where it says zone 1. That's the one I can change. So we'll double click that. And we're going to call that zone Allstar. I'm just going to put 2 channels in there. So we'll just send any channel across for now, just to make sure it saves it. Okay. So there you go. We'll close that down for now because it will save automatically anyway. Right. So we've got our zone created. Now we need a channel to put. The channel that we need to put into our zone. So let's find channels. Right, so go down here. Right, see where it's go down to underneath the zones and look. See, well, you can see my zone already here, Allstar. So I'm not gonna mess around with scanning lists. So we'll just click channel information. Double click that. Now these are all the millions of channels that are on like a Moonraker type code plug. So at the top of there, we're just going to right click, and you can add any channel this way. It could be DMR, FM simplex, a repeater, or your Allstar node, which is basically an FM simplex channel with a CT CSS tone. So anyway, let's go to the bottom, all the way down, slide it down here. Right, we've lost channels now. Okay, we're going to find it. Right, there you go, channel. So right click on channel information, click add, and we're going to do that twice because we want 2 channels. Okay, so on channel 1, double click it. Now here we're going to just choose our settings. It's nice and easy when it's FM analog. There's no code plug, there's no slot and talk group. So you literally just make sure it says analog. Leave the bandwidth at 12.5, which is narrow. Yeah, I'm not going to bother with that. Squelch, well, it could be a bit higher, couldn't it? So I'm going to set that at 2. Not really sure if that's too low or too high, but we'll leave it there for now. So timeout, do it 180 seconds. That's 3 minutes. You want to do that, otherwise it will just keep timing out on you. I might do mine a bit more, 240, because I do waffle. Power, keep your power low, because if it's high with a node, you're going to swamp the node with RF, and it's going to cause problems. Now CTSS, you just changed the encode one here. So on one of mine it's 77. That's the one that Peter made, G7RPG. And we're going to call that G7RPG node. So because I've got 2 nodes here. One that I made, one was a homemade one, and that was great fun. Lots of videos on that as well if you want to watch me doing that, because it was funny. My soldering was terrible. So 434.550 is Peter's node. You need to get the right amount of noughts in, the same as the noughts below I would go for. Because it's simplex, you need to do the same again. So there's no shift. And if there was, you don't use the word shift. You put it into the frequencies for TX and RX. 434.550. Right. 2 noughts. Now that seems done to me. We've got the name, got the frequencies, 550, just double check. Power low, timeout. So to me, that channel is done. We've got the CTCSS tone. I wonder what that means, display PTT ID, that's interesting. I'll have to try that on a channel just to see what that means. What I might do is create a 3rd channel and tick that and just see what it does, just to be curious. Right. Right, just move this over. I just remembered that I've got my the cameras on the left, on the right here, haven't I? So let's just quickly show you it again. Channel name, channel frequencies, narrow, analog, select analog, not digital. CTCSS 77 for my node, and it's simplex, and 240 timeout. So let's close that for now. We need to put that in our zone, but let's change the other channel first. So channel number 2, double click. Now this is the homemade one I made. So we're going to call it node homemade. Why not? Homemade. So it's only 2 nodes. You can make them for about £70, but you know, it's a lot of soldering to do. But G7RPG, you're going to get one for around 140 delivered, and it's going to be perfect with no problems out the box. So I actually recommend you get that. So 434 dot. My one is on 400. Get the right dots in. Here, Nico in the background with his cartoons. 434.400. There you go. Nico, you want to say hello? Watching the cartoons? Alright, there's... Ha. Okay. There's Nico, always here in the background. Let's just check that you can still see the radio. Right, okay. Right. So 434, 400, node homemade, analog. We need to get the my CTSS. I chose 1.118. No reason, just random. I'm gonna do everything else the same. But what I'm gonna do, yeah, that all looks good. Low power. Oh, timeout. Don't forget that. So we don't want that too short. Right, that's that one done. So what we're gonna do is, because I'm being nosy, I'm going to add another channel, and I'm going to tick that box because I want to know what that means. So we'll add another channel like so, then we'll go all the way down. Again. This time, to cheat, we're going to click the one above, right click, copy, and then we're going to click below. This is a quick way of doing channels. Paste. It won't change the name, but it puts all the settings in, and we're just going to put home node 2, and then I'm going to tick that box because I want to know what that box does. Display PTT ID. I'm going to tick it. Right, everything else looks fine. Low power. Oh, I've got the power high there. We need to get that to low because that will be a problem. And then we better change it on the other one. Yeah, low. Because I know from experience that if it's on high, it causes the node a problem. When you're talking, people can hear a buzz and interference. Okay, so close that. So now we just need to put those channels that we've created back into the zone. So you go scroll up. It sounds long-winded, but it isn't. Once you've done this a few times, it's actually quite fun. So, zone. So go back to the zone that we created called Allstar. If you get lost in this section, just keep trying. You'll find it in the end. So we've got home node. That's still channels, isn't it? We want zone. So it can be a bit confusing sometimes. You're like, where's zone gone? Here it is here, Allstar. So at the top of that, it says zone information. Right. I know DMR programming is a bit annoying, but it's fun as well. It's sort of interesting. It's both. It's a bit of both. So anyway, Allstar. Now, if you look just out of interest, above Allstar, I've got a zone called My Hotspots, and in that is just My Hotspots. So now, this is the part where you send, because this is an RT3S, and this is the same as an MD390. You've got A band and B band, so you can decide what you want in A or B. So you don't actually have to have the channels we've just created in A and B. So on the left, we'll do the A channel first, or the main band. We'll go to the bottom, and these are the channels we just created, these three. We'll go 1, 2, 3. Oh, start at the top, sorry. And we'll click add. Bit of a delay on my computer, it's lagging a bit today. We've added those three channels. They are now in the zone, and they're going to show on the A band. Now this one here, we don't want that. We put that in by accident, so delete that one. So I'm just going to add them on the B side as well. But if you wanted to, you could add any channels on the B side. You could add your DMR channels, you could add your repeater channels. You can pretty much add, so on the A and B you'll have different channels. But just to keep it simple, I like to just do the same on A and B. That's just my preference. So click that. That's those three channels. Right, that's all done. Three channels. They're in the zone now. So what will happen now is when you go flick through the zones on your radio, you will find the zone called Allstar. And then when you turn the channel change knob, in the middle one I think, it will go through three channels, if that makes sense. So we're going to send it to the radio. If I have to hold the cable in, I will. And then I'm actually going to show you me using it on the radio. So you go write data. Actually, before we write it, let's save it. File, save. We don't want to lose all that because that was quite a lot of work. So I'll put it in in this firmware, RT3S firmware file for now, and I will call it DMR with Allstar. And I'll put the date 2021, and it's March because I got quite a few saved. Worth doing that because you collect quite a few after a while. So save, right? So that's good. So now every time you save, it will save to that file, and it's worth saving as you go along because you sometimes it just glitches and you have to do it all again. Right. So program. Write data to radio. Click OK. Now, if there's an error, we're going to find out now. No, it's doing it. And the radio says PC USB program. I know it's a bit glary because the screens are very bright on these. And like I said, this is the same on the MD380 390. Now, if you need a code plug, go to the Martin Lynch site. They've definitely got one on there. Go to the RT3S. Put in Google RT3S MD390 and you'll find it. I probably Moonraker will have one. So yeah, anyway, but you know they're out there. I mean, you've got the other link that I put as well. Right. So okay. So that says it's done. So what we're going to do now, we're going to make this screen a bit bigger for the radio. You can see I use OBS to make these videos. So let's get it a bit bigger here. I know it's glary, and then we'll give it a bit of a test. Let's just do it like that. Okay. Sorry about the glare. So, right. Well, so let's just do it. Right. So, what we're going to do now is take the lead out. We're going to go to the zone by pushing, if I remember right, the top button, is it for zone? No, the bottom one. Sorry, it's been a while since I used this radio. Let's just turn it off and on. Alright, why am I not hearing nothing? Let me just have a little play. Right, well we got there in the end. What happened is I had the radio in VFO mode. And so that's why you couldn't hear anything. So anyway, if we go back now, it's already working. So we'll just go to menu and show you how I found the zone. Down to zone. Now just go back. Let's go menu. I'm trying to go back here. Just one sec. I'm just getting a bit lost in the radio in a minute. Yeah, well, so I haven't used the radio for over a month, so I'm having to remind myself how to use it, which is funny. So menu, and if you go to down one, then hit zone, then zone list. Now you can see it's there, Allstar. Not sure how glare it is, but it basically says Allstar. So we'll click confirm, and that will take us to Allstar. So now we'll go to we've got the 3 channels. So one is G7RPG's node, and then my node, which is the one that's connected now. So what we'll do, we'll give a call and see if anyone can hear us. So I'll pick it up, and then I'll do it in front of the other camera. Mike 0, Fox X-Ray Bravo, calling for an audio check, M0FXB. So you can hear it beeping back at me. The node, just if you want to see the node, is over there flashing away in a black box. Inside the node is basically a Bofung, a Raspberry Pi 3, a CM108 and a buck converter power supply. So let's call again. Mike 0, Fox X-Ray Bravo, calling for an audio check. Right. Well, it looks like no one's coming back to us. But anyway, that's.
0FXB. Mike Whiskey 0 Romeo Hotel Delta. Nobody's come back to you. I was out of the shack, but I heard you call. Is it good? No problems at all there, Andre. MW0RXD. Back to you.
M0FXB. MW0RHD. Yeah, thanks very much. I was just programming in the frequencies of the Allstar node into my RETEVIS RT3S, which is the same as the MD380. So thanks a lot for the comeback, M0FXB. All right.
No problem, Andre. Good to hear you. I haven't spoken to you in a long, long time. Name here is Bob, Bravo, Oscar Bravo. We have spoken a few times on network radios and what have you. But 7-3 for now, from Bob, MW0RHD on the Fleam Peninsula, Northwest Wales.
Yeah, thanks, Bob. Yeah, the voice and call sign is very familiar. So thanks for the audio check. And quick question for you. How are you making HubNet? Back to you. He's busy, so...
Okay, Andre, no problem at all. I run a gateway here. Mike Bravo 7 India Lima Papa. Gateway is Peter's node, a G7RPG micronode, connected to a Motorola GM340 or something like that. Yeah, 340, which goes over 2 meters, 2 watts. And yeah, that's how I get in. The micronode obviously is connected to the internet, and it goes through the internet back into the system. And locally we have the 2 meters coming in and going out. So yeah, that's how the system here is working, Andre, over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, it's working well. And just what frequency is that? Because I do receive about 3 frequencies here at home on 2 meters with HubNet. Lastly, just what frequency? I'm just wondering if it's one of the frequencies that I receive. Back to you.
Andre, well, the 2 meter one is 144.962.5. 144.962.5 with a CTCSS access tone of 110.9. So the outgoing frequency is 144.962.5, Andre, over.
Yeah, Roger, thank you. All received. And thanks for the audio check. And catch you later on. Take care, Bob. 7-3. Okay, well, there's a double view of me and the radio here. So as you can see, it's all working fine, and we now have our RT3S, MD390, all programmed for our Simplex FM channel with a CT CSS, using it on Allstar node. 7-3, all the best. Thank you.